guys, what's up? It's me, Brianna. I hope that you are all well, and I am back with another video for you guys today, and I'm super excited to be sitting down and filming this video for you guys today, because today's video is going to be the first installment in a new series on my channel titled Girl Talk, and pretty much basically what this series is going to be about is going to be videos every so often, a couple times a month, of me sitting down and talking to you guys about girl stuff, basically, you know, stuff that has to revolve around girls and a lot of things that girls like to talk about, or girl advice, you could say. I was contemplating on whether to call this girl advice or girl talk, but I really liked girl talk, so basically each video will have a different topic that I'll be talking about, and for the first video, which is going to be today's video, the topic for this video is going to be about self-confidence. It's going to be all about self-confidence. I'm going to be talking to you guys about self-confidence and my struggle with self-confidence and my experience with it and how I started to feel confident in my body and be confident about myself. So yeah, that's what this video in this series is going to pretty much be about. It's going to be about girl talk and, like I said, talking with you guys. But yeah, like I also mentioned, this one's going to be about self-confidence. I think I've said that probably about 10 times. Anyways, if you guys like this series and you like this video after you're done watching it, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and comment down below, or give it a thumbs up if you want me to continue this series, because, you know, it's a first time for everything and this is sort of like a trial and error. If you guys like it, then yay. If you guys don't like it, then I won't continue doing it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this video, and without further ado, I hope that you enjoy. Okay, so self-confidence. The first thing that I sort of want to talk about in regards to self-confidence is my struggle with self-confidence and my experience on self-confidence, and kind of reflect that onto you guys. So my experience with self-confidence. Growing up, I was a very, very insecure young girl, and I was insecure about my body, about my skin, about my hair, about a lot of things, and I disliked a lot of things about myself, but you know, along the way I learned to love myself, so I'll sort of be talking about that in this video for you guys today. So basically, growing up, I was always insecure about my skin. If you guys didn't know, I have eczema on my skin, so all over my cheeks and a little bit on my forehead, you know, without makeup, I do have very red, dry eczema skin. If you guys don't know what eczema is, then it's basically red, dry, patchy skin and like little bumps on your skin. I grew up having it on my arms. I still have it on my arms, and then I have it on my face as well. And growing up, you know, before in my younger years, before I started to wear makeup and before I was even able to wear makeup, the eczema was very, very noticeable, and when I got in the sun or when I got red or when I got nervous, it was always very noticeable, and it brought out a lot of my imperfections that I didn't want people to see. So growing up, people would always ask me, Brianna, why is your face so red? Or, oh, Brianna's blushing. But really, it was just my eczema, and then it was also on my arms, like I said, and people would always say, oh, why are your arms so red? Are you okay? What are those bumps on your arms? They'd be like, do you have chicken pox? I'd be like, no, that's just my arms. But basically, I still am very insecure about that, but makeup kind of helps that a little bit, and that kind of moves on into the self-confidence part regarding makeup. So a lot of girls wear makeup because they are insecure. That is not a fact. That is not something that girls are trying to hide. Yes, girls mostly wear makeup for themselves, but a lot of girls do it because they want to cover up their imperfections and they want to feel better about themselves. And I do it mainly because I make beauty videos, but I also do it so I can feel better about myself, and you know, I can feel happier and more confident and things like that. So basically, makeup. I started wearing makeup because I sort of loved makeup. It was a passion of mine. I got into it, but mainly I started wearing it because of my eczema and my hormonal teenage acne. I started to get pimples on my forehead and on my cheeks on top of my eczema, which absolutely sucks. If you guys have eczema, let me know in the comments down below, because it's not fun. It's not a fun ride. Anyways, basically I started wearing makeup to feel better about myself, but it sort of turned into where if I didn't put makeup on every day, then I literally could not go out of the house, and that went on for about a good 2 years, and now it's to where I am confident going out of the house without makeup on, and I'm confident going to the gym without having to put a little bit of concealer on, which I think is absolutely ridiculous when people go to the gym working out, but literally back in the day I actually thought about putting makeup on before going to the gym, because I was like, oh my gosh, what if people see my skin and they're like, oh, this girl has really bad skin? But basically, I sort of learned to love myself and love my skin, and makeup is something that I do, you know, when I want to like enhance my natural features and when I want to feel better about myself. But without makeup, I've learned to feel better about myself, and I've learned that you don't have to put makeup on to feel pretty. Like, you can feel pretty in your natural bare skin, and you don't have to worry about putting makeup on or covering up your redness. Like, if you're one that struggles with acne, or if you're one that struggles with really bad discolored skin, etc., then you probably know that yes, putting makeup on does make yourself feel better, but it's not the option all the time. You can go out of the house without makeup on and still feel confident. Like, I want to let everyone know out there that literally, if you do not want to wear makeup, don't wear makeup. Like, don't start wearing makeup if you don't need it. Don't start wearing makeup if you don't want to wear makeup. If you feel confident in your own skin, and then go for it. Go out of the house without any makeup on. I'm preaching this to you guys right now. You will feel so much better if you try to go at least a week without wearing makeup. Like, for instance, if you're a makeup wearer, just try to go at least a week without wearing makeup and then log it and see how better you feel about yourself, because I did that trial. I went a week without wearing any face makeup at all or any sort of makeup on my face. The only thing I did was like put moisturizer on, and I felt so much better about myself. Literally, I smiled so much more. I felt so much more confident, and now I put makeup on, you know, just for the fun of it and just to have fun and sort of make myself up. But I feel that you don't have to wear makeup every day to feel confident and to feel confident about yourself or to feel pretty. So if you're one out there that thinks you have to wear makeup every day, or you have to wear makeup to go out of the house or to go to school, you are wrong, because you are beautiful in every way. And I think all of you guys are beautiful, and all of you guys have such big hearts. And if you're watching this, if you're a person that struggles with self-confidence and wearing makeup and things like that, then please just come out of your shell and don't worry too much about what other people think. That's one thing that I struggled with a lot, is like, I thought, well, if I don't wear makeup, what are people gonna think of me? Like, so many people are used to seeing me with makeup on. If I just stop wearing makeup or wearing face makeup, are people gonna think, oh, she's ugly? Because I get a lot of people, you know, being in the public eye, I get a lot of people looking up to me, and most people, 85% of the time when I make YouTube videos, I have makeup on most of the time. And, you know, I've kind of learned that I don't always need to wear makeup in videos, you know, and I can feel confident when doing get ready with me's when I don't have any makeup on and stuff like that. And I've learned, like, I still want to look myself when I have makeup on. I don't want to put so much makeup on that when I take it off, I look like a completely different person, and that's where a lot of girls can go wrong. A lot of girls can cake on that makeup, pile on that makeup, and then when they take it off, they don't feel good about themselves because they put so much makeup on. So I say the less makeup, the better, because you'll be more natural and you'll have a more natural look. That's pretty much what I wanted to go over when it comes to makeup when you're dealing with self-confidence, is that don't wear so much makeup, and if you can, don't wear any makeup at all, and see how much better it makes you feel. So now moving on to the main thing about self-confidence, and that is body confidence and feeling comfortable in your own skin and feeling comfortable in your own body. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about my experience with being confident in my own body and having insecurities about my body. So growing up, I was always the skinny tall girl. I still am, but in my younger years, like elementary, middle school, I was always known as a skinny tall girl. So everyone would be like, oh, Brian, you're so skinny. I always had, you know, a small chest section, and I always had a small butt and everything like that. It was small everything. I was skinny everywhere, and I would get made fun of a lot. Going into 7th grade, I would get made fun of from having no butt, because I was so small that I did have no butt. So I would get made fun of that a lot, and I got called No Booty Brianna in 7th grade, which, yes, that's kind of harsh, but I look back on it now and I sort of laugh at it. But back then, it really made me feel insecure, and I saw all these other girls that had, like, you know, bigger chest than me, and I was like, oh my gosh, my boobs are so small. Like, it was like the little things that made me so insecure about myself. You know, whether you're skinny, whether you're heavier, it doesn't matter. Like, people still have their insecurities, and that was one of my biggest insecurities, was my body. And so I started to put on weight. I started eating a lot more, and I put on about 15 pounds, and then I thought that would help. I thought that would get me a bigger butt, get me bigger boobs, which it did a little bit, but then I was insecure because I was so used to growing up being this thin girl that when I did start putting on weight, people noticed, and they didn't think of it as a good thing. They kind of thought, oh, she's getting chubbier, like she's putting on weight. But part of it was me going through puberty, and part of it was me filling out. So it was kind of all of those things, like the hormones. But I put on weight fast. Like 7th grade was when I gained most of my weight, and then I started feeling really self-conscious and really insecure about my body. I kind of got it into my head that if I wasn't a certain weight, then I wasn't, you know, good enough, and I was scared about what people would think about me, and it just kind of really got to my head, and I got to a point where I was done with it, and I wanted to lose the weight that I had gained. I wasn't overweight by any means. I was a good healthy weight, but to me it was overweight because, like I said, I was grown up, you know, to be so slim and so skinny in my waistline and my legs, and then I started to get chunkier in my legs and chunkier in my waist, and I just didn't like the extra weight that I was holding. So I started working out a little bit here and there to improve my self-confidence, and I shedded a few pounds, probably like 3 or 4, but it was nothing major compared to like the 15-20 pounds that I had gained. So I struggled a lot last year with, you know, my weight and my body, but then I learned, you know, to love myself and to love myself in my own skin and to be confident in a bikini and to be confident in tight jeans or tight-fitting clothing, and I just learned to be confident. That was the main thing overall, and I got on this fitness kick not too long ago, and I lost all of the weight that I had gained in 7th grade, and I started the new year of 2015 with feeling confident. I felt confident in my body. The main thing I can say is if you struggle with body confidence is, for one, help yourself. Eat healthy. Try to at least work out for 30 minutes to an hour a day. Let me tell you, that literally has helped me so much because I was the worst eater. I was probably the most unhealthiest eater ever about a year and a half ago, and I never worked out. I just sat all day other than going to school. Then this year and last year I started working out and eating a clean diet. I'm not vegan or anything like that. I still eat my meats and stuff like that, but I make sure that I don't have fatty foods all the time. I make sure that I have my vegetables, I get my greens in, I get my salads in, things like that. So I eat clean and I work out for an hour a day, and I actually just recently started doing title boxing, so that has helped me a lot to kind of get out of my slump and wanting to lay in bed all day. But like I said, if you struggle with body confidence, please don't compare yourself to the standards that society says. That is something that I did so much when I was, you know, gaining the weight and putting on the weight. I compared myself to the models because I was like, oh, I'm this height, I'm so-and-so height, and I'm this height, and they're this height. Like, I should be, you know, they're 5'10", and I'm almost 5'10". Like, I should be as skinny as them, or I should have the waist measurements like them. So I would force that on myself, and I'd be like, oh, Brianna, you should look like this. No, honey, that is not how it works. Everyone's made differently, everyone's bone structure is different, everyone's shaped differently. No one's gonna look like a model that pops out of a Victoria's Secret magazine. Your average woman, let me tell you, is not going to look like a Victoria's Secret model. Even Victoria's Secret models, it takes work and dedication and eating healthy and working out and eating right to keep their angel body. And by no means, Victoria's Secret models aren't the only angels in the world. We are all angels. Every woman is an angel. It doesn't matter what size you are, how big your waist is. It doesn't matter, you know, if you don't feel confident in your body, if you feel confident in your body, you are all beautiful. And I don't want you guys thinking that you have to look a certain way because of what society says you have to be like, or what you see on Instagram or Twitter of all these skinny girls. And I don't want you thinking that, oh, my body needs to look like that, because you're all made differently and you're all crafted differently, and everyone's gonna look different and have different measurements. And you may be able to help yourself lose weight or gain weight if you're in that criteria, but honestly, if you struggle with body confidence, screw what other people think. If someone calls you fat, screw them. If someone calls you too skinny, screw them, because literally what other people think is irrelevant. It's how you feel about yourself and how you feel on the inside. That has a lot to do with self-confidence, and that has a lot to do with how you are going to feel about yourself, and if you're going to look confident when you get up to do a speech in class per se, or if you're going to look confident walking down the hallway, or if you're going to look confident when you film a video, if you're a YouTuber. Those kind of all come into play when it comes to body confidence and self-confidence. You have to love yourself before you can love anybody else. That is something that I live by. You have to feel confident with yourself, and you have to love yourself before you can start putting your love on other people. So that's kind of what I wanted to stress, is that if you're one that is struggling with insecurities, embrace your insecurities. Don't put them behind the bus. Don't throw them in the closet. Embrace your insecurities and love your insecurities. Learn to love your insecurities, and I promise you will feel so much better about yourself, and it's going to make your life so much easier. So yeah, that is basically what I wanted to say about self-confidence, and I wanted to get that out there. If you guys enjoyed this first installment of my girl talk video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and I love you guys all so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!